How's it going, everyone? Famine52 back again, and today we're taking on a couple super bosses. Let's get going. Alright, welcome back, everyone. So in the last episode, we took on a couple of Seath Stones. If I remember correctly, we actually took on missions 51, I want to say. No, it would be 52 through 63, leaving us with only one more Seath Stone remaining. But before we do that, there's a couple of things that you might need to do. And what that would be is, honestly, a little bit of grinding. I highly recommend, before taking on the final Seath Stone mission, having the tier 3 weapons and honestly some maxed out accessories. Now, in order to do that, you are going to need the Trapezohedron, which I've already shown how to get. But there is also a way to farm dark matter now that we have completed all of the Seath Stones. And that is that now on the Arclight Step, basically every Adamantoise and Adamant Child enemy on here has been replaced with either a Xiaolongui or a Longui. Now, what the Longui is, the Longui is the first super boss that we are actually going to be able to take down. It is actually this big boy right here. We are not going to be taking him on first, though. Instead, we are going to be taking on the Longui, which is honestly the Adamant Child replacement. There are 3 of them right here. And now, before we take these guys on, let me go ahead and show you my party real quick. First of all, I have Saz in my party, and that is because he is going to allow us to not exactly cheese this fight, but he's going to make it a lot easier. And just to show kind of what I mean there, I have a level 1 weapon on him. Like, he is not going to be here for damage at all. However, I will say having a higher magic stat for him would not hurt. So if you happen to have something with a bit more magic, I just happen to go with the Procyon, or however you want to pronounce it, for the stagger maintenance, just to make sure the enemy stays staggered for longer. I will be showing how to upgrade all of the weapons in the next episode, which honestly is probably going to be the last episode of this playthrough. But I'm not worrying about that right now. But right now I do have the Connoisseur's Catalog on him to increase the rare drop chance from 5% up to, I believe, about 8%, if I understand how the Connoisseur Catalog works correctly. And then I also have the Collector's Catalog, which should raise the common drop chance from, I believe it's about 25%, so it should raise it up to 37-ish%. Those numbers are completely fluid right there. I do not know if they are correct. I just know that these are going to be better odds for this. Now, as for the girls, I have Fang here with the Kaiser Knuckles and the Genji Glove. And then I have Vanille with the Magisterial Crest and the Genji Glove. Honestly, does she need the Genji Glove? Probably not, but I'm going to have it on her. Now, as for what we're going to do, we're going to start this battle in Sentinel. And then once the first attack goes out, we are going to switch into Recuperation. Then after we get some buffs on us, we're going to go into Smart Bomb. Then Even Odds, then Smart Bomb again, and we're going to finish out in Devastation. So those are what we're going to be doing right there. If you want to copy those over, feel free. But let's go ahead and show what we're going to be doing here. So if we come here, engage in our battle. Before he does anything, let me just show this real quick. The Xiaolongui has 10,800,000 HP, which is a lot. He also has a common drop of the gold nugget, so that is a fair bit of gold. And then the rare drop of dark matter, which is going to be what we are actually going for. And then as you can see the vulnerabilities, he's not necessarily weak to any element, but he doesn't have that many status immunities. So we're going to kind of exploit that for a little bit. But first and foremost, he's going to open up the battle in Quake. So we're going to go ahead and let that hit, then go directly into recuperation. And then we're going to put Bravera, Phaethra, and Protectora on our crew, as Saz is also putting his own buffs up.
Don't back down.
And while we're doing this, Vanille is of course going to be healing up the party. And honestly, these 3 buffs for right now are the main ones that we want to get. However, we could go ahead and upgrade Shell to Shellra and get Vigilance and Veil on, though those really aren't going to be that big of a deal. I'm more or less am just doing this until we start double casting our buffs again. And I am keeping an eye on the Xiaolong Gui for that Ultima, which I'm going to go directly into Tortoise to reduce that damage, and then let's go ahead and go into even odds. And what we want to do here is just Imperil spam and make sure we get Imperil on this guy as Vanille is healing us up. Now that we have Imperil, we can just go back into Auto Hinder, let the game do what it wants to do for the debuffs. And during this, Saz is going to be inspiring us, which is very nice. And we can go ahead and go into Smart Bomb here real quick, allow Fang to get some more debuffs on. Although we probably should heal up a bit more. I do want to get Cursed on this guy. There we go. So let's go back into even odds. Let's go ahead and get a little bit more cure in. Get everyone up into the green. Okay, and now she's just casting single targets. So let's go back into Smart Bomb. And now Saz on this Smart Bomb is going to be our Saboteur. And he's going to be constantly casting Daze. Now something cool about Daze is that the first attack after a target is dazed deals double damage. So like now Fang is going to be doing a lot more damage for that first attack. Now we can go into our Commando paradigm now that he is at maximum whatchamacallit, stagger, and just watch this guy's health melt off. And there he goes right there. At 10 million HP, just melts away. That battle, our target time is 11 minutes and 30 seconds. We completed it in 2. So, yeah. Not really that difficult. And now we have 2 more right here that we could fight. I'm not going to, but basically what you're going to do is the grind is going to be kill that first one, run over here, kill this second one, kill that third, and then run back to the save point, save and quit. It is also worth noting that there is another Xiaolong Gui in front of this treasure sphere right here, and then another one in this little alcove right here, guarding another treasure sphere that I have not gotten on this save, but I did get it in the actual walkthrough or let's play. That treasure sphere I believe is guarding another gold dust or possibly even a gold nugget. But once you do the fighting, do what you want to do, you're going to go ahead and come up to this save point up here. This one right here, of course. Then you are going to save your game. And just quit and reload. Now, I need to do a little bit of party changing around in order to actually take on the Long Gui. So I'll be back momentarily. Alright, now we are going to take on our first Long Gui right here. And in order to do so, I have brought Lightning back into the party. I am going to need at least 3 ticks of technical points here, which I do indeed have. And we are going to be starting with Vanille as our party lead. These are the paradigms that I'm going to be using. Really, what we're mostly going to be doing is doing a death exploit. Now, the Longui is immune to death, so while we are going to be killing it with death, death is not going to be what kills it, if that makes any sense. We are going to be doing essentially maximum damage with death. So I don't know how else to explain it other than that. But in order to make sure that we are going to be able to get there, we do also need to get the Longui down, just like we did with the Adamantoids up in Eden's Hall, which is why we need 3 TP in order to summon Hecaton. Now, as for equipment, same as before with Vanille and Fang, just 3 Magisterial Crests or Kaiser Knuckles, and then the Genji Glove. And then for Lightning, I have 4 Kaiser Knuckles on her. She is not going to be able to break the damage limit. I am not too worried about her. She's not really going to be our damage dealer anyway. But, yeah. So let's go ahead and start this battle. And you want to get ready basically right away in order to summon Hecaton, because this guy auto-casts Ultima at the beginning of battle. You don't want to cast it too early, though, because you do not want Ultima to actually end up killing you after the summon.
I can do this.
Let's go ahead and wait for it to actually show, and then now we can go ahead and start. And I don't know if I've actually shown the summon animation, so let's go ahead and show that right now. Alright, now let's go ahead and go into Assassination right here. And we are going to be just casting various debuffs on this guy. And you know what, speaking of that, let's go ahead and throw a Libra Scope also, just so I can show you some things. So, he has 16,200,000 HP. He drops Platinum Ingots as well as Traphthahedrons. And he is immune to Pain Fog, Daze, and Death. And we must God Imperil on him because he has a bunch of elemental weaknesses. But we are going to be basically getting as many of our debuffs on him as possible. The main ones that we want to get on him are going to be D-Shell and Poison. Looks like we got that D-Shell on there. Now let's go ahead and see if we can get that Poison. Yes, we can. And it looks like we are getting into some repeats. So let's go into Rapid Growth and just start buffing ourselves up. And that is not quite what I wanted to happen. So let's go ahead and go into Gestalt mode right now. Now, while we are on here, we basically just want to let the Gestalt mode timer wind down before we actually do anything. Just because while the Longui is down like this, the 90-second timer to get it to stand up is not progressing at all. And that poison that we have on it is doing all of the damage that it possibly can do. And we are able to single cast the chain cannons and just get a little bit of damage in on top of that poison damage. Now, we really have not done anything to this guy, but if we look at that if we look at his health, you can see that green bar is quite substantially down for what we have done. And we're just going to sit here, let this happen, let this do its thing. Because there is really no reason to worry about this guy standing up at all while we have Hecaton out. And of course, we are not really going to be able to stagger him like this. Well, that is not to worry at all. And now this last one is going to take a little while to count down.
Will you act?
And there we go. Now let's just go ahead and start buffing ourselves up real quick. And it looks like he might have fallen out of some of our debuffs. So let's go ahead and start debuffing him again. By the way, if we look at his health right now, we can see that he is at, what is that, 7 million HP? Yeah, he's already halfway down. So if we can get some debuffs back on him. Honestly, D-Shell is all that we need. And now let's... No, that's not what I meant to do. Go ahead and go into Devastation. And then now manually cast Death. Right as it finishes casting, we're going to go into Cerberus to get the maximum amount of damage. And then right back into Devastation. And then now this is how we are going to kill this guy. And the reason why we are switching between Devastation and Cerberus is because we are able to cast Death in Devastation, but switching to Cerberus before it actually lands allows it to do as much damage as possible. And as you can see, just like that, he is down. We did get the trophy for slaying him. We also got 5 stars and 100,000 CP. Not that I'm too worried about the CP right now. And no spoils, unfortunately. But yeah, so that is how we are able to farm the Longui and the Xiaolongui. So next up is actually going to be mission 64, which is going to be picked up in Orba. So I will go ahead and meet you guys there. And of course, because we are taking on another super boss, there are specific strategies for that. At which point I will go ahead and show you what those strategies are at the time. But yeah, I'll go ahead and meet you guys in Orba and pick up the actual quest. Alright, so here we are in Orba. We are at the very end of the Rusty Bridge, where we fought Bartandalus earlier. And right before where it actually takes us up to Cocoon. This is where we are on the map. And we've actually interacted with this Seath Stone once before, and we got a little bit of exposition, backstory stuff. But this time, when we interact with it, we see that we have Mission 64, the Doom Herald. I am not even going to, actually I guess I will attempt to pronounce that name. Vercingetorix? Bane Lord of the Undying lives on, but how? I smote the fiend's ruins so long ago. It seems an eternity, yet it was my focus then, as it is now. And at this end, I turned into crystal. Did some unearthly power quicken his lifeless corpse again? Even as I dreamt? No matter. I know where he lurks. In the Pandrian Archaeopolis. Whose doom he did herald. There do I go, to bury the beast as many times as I must. So, yeah. We're going to go ahead and accept that mission. And do you guys remember where mission number 7 was? Yeah, where we did the grind, the CP or the gill grind, got our first sprint shoes. Yeah, that's exactly where we're going. So quite literally, the two furthest opposite ends, uh, down here on Pulse. So I'm going to go ahead and make my way back there, and I will see you there. All right, and we are back at the little crystalline cocoon thing right here that is actually going to be holding our final mark. And before we go into this, let me go ahead and show you some things. These are my paradigms right here. I am going to be starting in infiltration. We are going to be relying a lot on poison during this fight. So that's why we are going to be starting off in 3 saboteurs. And this guy also likes to buff himself up, which is why we have Fang and Hope in our party, because they are the only ones whose saboteurs have the Dispel ability. So that is going to make his buffs essentially non-existent. Another thing about having Hope in the party, this really is not necessary. But for Hope, I did upgrade his Hawkeye all the way to his max Nue for the 6 ability or ATB slots, as well as with the 4 magisterial crests, he is going to have a magic of 4017, and that should help immensely with his medic rolls. So here's hoping that those help. As for the other 2, I'm really not changing Fang at all. For Lightning, I could put her into the Genji gloves, but I really don't think that she's going to be going up against the damage limit anyway. And like I said before, the damage that we are mostly going to be relying on is poison, so I don't really think that is necessary all that much. That being said, let's go ahead and pop a Fortizol as well as an Agisol at the start of this battle and get going.
Keep your mind on the
Alright,
battle.
and right off the bat, let's go ahead and throw a Libra Scope right here. Just to show that he has 15,840 HP. He has a stagger point of 300%. His common drop is a 20-sided die. His rare drop is a ribbon, which... woohoo. And he halves all elemental damage, and he has a few status immunities, but not many. So let's go ahead and start getting these debuffs on him as soon as we possibly can. The faster we can get poison on him, the better. There we go with that poison. Now let's go ahead and drop into Relentless Assault. See if we can't get lucky enough to get him staggered before he puts that up, which we were unable to. Now at this point, we are going to want to go into Salvation, because we are unable to do any sort of damage to him right now while he has that barrier up, so we might as well heal ourselves.
Not a problem.
And don't think that this is going to do anything, it is not. So now that he is out of his barrier, back into Infiltration. Get those debuffs back on. And the other 2 were able to get the his buff off instantaneously. So, very nice. And we got that poison back on. And he went directly back into his
Keep the enemy off balance.
his shield, which is annoying. But as you can see, we really haven't had any chance to actually physically attack him, and we've already done 1 million damage. So this fight is going to be obnoxiously long, but it definitely could be worse.
Change of plan.
Because we already have our buffs, let's go ahead and see if we can't work on this chain gauge at all while he is in his thing. And now that he has dropped out, back to infiltration. Get that buff off of him. And now poison him up. Oh hey, he already got poison back on. Very nice. So relentless assault. And we should actually be able to get a couple of attacks in. Apparently not. By the way, this fight, if it lasts longer than, I believe it's 20 minutes, he will in fact cast Doom on the party. Which can be annoying, but it is what it is.
I gotta do everything.
And now that he's out, back into our infiltration. Get his Brave and Faith off as we try to put some more debuffs on him. Get that poison on him. There we go. And let's do Relentless Assault. See if we can't get a little bit of damage in. And let's go into, I was going to say Tireless Charge, but now that he has brought his shield back up, let's just go ahead and go into Salvation. And he has taken a few of our debuffs off, so back into Rapid Growth. Let's go ahead and get these back on for us. And Infiltration to go ahead and start the process all over again. Let's go ahead and start with Poison this time, though. There we go. There's that Poison. And there's Imperil. And there's Slow, so Relentless Assault. Ooh, that move, I believe, is the one that we need.
Leave it to me. This'll be fun.
Is it not? Doesn't look like it is. There is an attack that he does that does require, not require, but it is highly recommended that you have, whatchamacallit on, Tortoise. Ooh, and Hope has gone down. So let's go ahead and raise him up. And now get some cures going. And then a couple of rounds of Rapid Growth should help us get some buffs back up on him while the dude is in his stuff. We did not get much, but we got something, which is better than nothing. So that attack, by the way, that I thought was his ultra kill attack is actually his attack that removes buffs from us.
Thank you.
So he removes 2 at a time. So we want to get as many buffs on the party as possible.
Time for another approach.
Just to more or less prevent that move from taking off some of our more needed buffs. This move right here, Wicked Whirl. Let's go ahead and drop into Tortoise. And then Salvation to heal ourselves back up. And then now Infiltration. There we have the Poison. You know what? Tireless Charge. Go ahead and have Hope kill us up while we do a little bit more damage to him. And Relentless Assault. And Tireless Charge. He should honestly, yep, be going back into his shield here in a second.
Appreciate it.
So heal ourselves up.
Thanks.
And Rapid Growth. And this fight does take a minute, but we have now seen the loop of it. As you can see, we've done almost half of his health. He's down to 8 million.
Appreciate it.
And we've also survived his strongest attack. So that is very nice. Go ahead and get that poison back on. Very nice. And I suppose it's possible that you might be able to instant stagger him. Ooh, that is the wrong thing. I might die here. Oh, nope, I did not. But let's go ahead and Phoenix down Hope. Then I'll go into Tireless Charge. Ooh, did that Phoenix now not do anything? There we go. Alright, now that he has his shield back up, let's go ahead and heal ourselves up real quick. Because as you saw, he is able to hit us pretty hard. By the way, his shield right here, he does regain, I believe it's 1% of his maximum lost health per tick. So it is kind of annoying, but we are going to be doing a lot more damage to him than he is able to actually heal. So it shouldn't be too bad. Go ahead and hope that we can get poison back on him. There's that poison. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and go into Salvation right here, and then Tortoise. And then back into Salvation. I do not like being not in mostly green health. Alright, and Rapid Growth. Go ahead and get some buffer buffs on us.
Thank you.
And now Infiltration. And there's that poison. And let's go ahead and wait till we get slow. And let's go into Tireless Charge, or not, into Tortoise. Now let's try Tireless Charge. Nope, we are going in Salvation.
Appreciate it.
Alright, and let's try Relentless Assault. It would be nice to stagger this guy once. As you can see, he is getting very low on health. Hey, we got the stagger. Very nice. Too bad I need to heal.
Time for another.
Alright. Now if I could, before... There we go. We got the kill. Very nice. And I only got 3 stars, which is a bit unfortunate. But it is honestly about what I was expecting. We did not get any spoils from him. However, our mission complete bonus from him is in fact the gold watch, and we earned the rank of Deliverer of Souls. And we get 2 trophies right there. Exorcist, triumph over the undying lower world souls, as well as completing all of the Seath stones down here. And we did also get a data log entry. Sure. And then the one for him. Yeah. So as you can see, he does have basically 16 million HP, but he is not too difficult to take down. By the way, the item that we got, what components did I get? No idea. The item that we got is the gold watch. It extends the target time for battles, making it easier to obtain higher ratings. So this is going to be a necessity if you care to actually 5-star all of the Seath Stone battles, which for completion I am going to do. I'm not going to show it on screen. You don't need to see me go back and 5-star Pawn Scum or the number 3 mission, number 4 mission. You guys really don't need to see me do that. The strategies that were shown should be good enough to get you those 5 stars, as long as you have the gold watch. And honestly, most of the first half here, honestly, probably more than the first half, like probably up until you actually get into the Titan trials. So, like here. Yeah, like high 30s, low 40s. At our current power level, you're not going to need the gold watch to 5-star at this point anyway. That being said, that is going to be the end of this episode. In the next episode, I am going to be going through and just... Honestly, it's going to be a boring episode, but I'm going to go through all of the accessories here and going over... Hey, how much experience do you need to get the adamant bangle to maximum? And then what catalyst do you need to transform that into the last bit? And then at that point, if you want to max it out, how much experience do you need? Then we've already done it with the Kaiser Knuckle, so I'm not going to worry about that. Magisterial Crest, I'm not going to worry about that. But there is a trophy in the game for holding at least once every accessory and weapon in the game. So we're going to go ahead and go through that on every accessory as well as every weapon. So that's what I'll be doing in the next episode, everyone. I'm assuming not a lot of people are going to watch that. So in that case, I appreciate you guys watching me through on this playthrough of Final Fantasy XIII. The next game that I'm going to be playing is going to be Final Fantasy XIII 2. And that's going to be probably broken up with some Monster Hunter Wilds here and there as well. But the main focus is going to be 13-2, and then possibly Lightning Returns. I've never actually played Lightning Returns, so I am looking forward to that. But yeah, other than that, everyone, thank you so much for joining me on this journey back through 13. And until next time, this is Famine52 signing out, and peace out.